Okay, so quite an easy one to get started with, and we'll look at f strings. So whether you're using a string or a numeric value, you can put basically a placeholder in here. So print, and then we use the parentheses with the letter f lowercase, and then you do some quotes, and within the quotes you put the curly braces with the variable name, but the binding here. So you've got name, which is a string, and then you've got age, which is an integer. So run that. My name is Alice. I'm 30 years old. Okay, so that's tip number one, F strings. Okay, tip two, using list comprehension. So we've got a list, empty list squares for I in range 10. We're going to iterate up to 10, and we're going to multiply by itself. So print squares. This is just the standard way of getting the square of each element. So square of 0 is 0, square of 1 is 1, square of 4 is 4, square of 2 is 4, 3 is 9, 4 is 16, so on. So come back here, and here we just say squares, and then equals. So what you're doing is you're saying for I in range 10, which is the same as this line, and then this bit here you're putting at the start. So if you're new to this, best thing to do is remember that you put the for condition here, and then you proceed it with what you're actually attempting to do, the operation. So effectively trying to square the number. So I squared. We just move that down, and then we'll comment that out. Save it, run it, same result. So that's list comprehension. Just remember to put the for I in range part at the end, and then what you're attempting to do precedes it. So that's list comprehension. Next, lambda functions. So again, we'll be doing the same operation. We're going to be squaring the number. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to set a variable to squared, as we did before. So what we're actually going to do is take x, and then x goes to x squared here. So that's the first thing we need to do. And then we use lambda, the lambda keyword here. We tell Python we're using a lambda function. Then we're going to map each of the numbers, or each of the elements in the numbers list, to the lambda function. That's going to build us a list. And if you don't do that, I'll show you what you get, but let's just run it first. Python tips 1. Get the squared values. If we didn't do list, show you what you get. Get an object. So that's why you need to use list at the start, just to extract the list there. So yeah, list map lambda. It may seem more work or more complicated, but it allows you to have like a throwaway function which you can just use once. Particularly good in things like Jupyter Notebook or ML and so on. Just use it once and then discard it. So that's lambda. Okay, next, unpacking. So you might see this called destructuring as well. So we've got a list with elements 1, 2, and 3 in it, and we're going to set A to 1, B to 2, C to 3. So if we print this, get 1, 2, 3. Why do we get 1, 2, 3? Because A becomes the first element, B becomes the second, C becomes the third, so on and so on. So that's quite a simple example. Let's look at something slightly more sophisticated. So we've got print info, it's a function, and it's going to take name and it's going to take age as the function arguments. You can use an F string here, and then it will print name is age years old. So we're going to pass it a Python dictionary. Name is Bob, age 25. And then you destructure it using, with a Python dictionary, you destructure it or you unpack it using the 2 asterisks. With a list, you would use 1. So the 2 asterisks here are basically saying extract the keys and the values, then print the info. If we run this, Bob is 25 years old. So this is destructuring. It's taking the name and it's taking, it's taking the key and it's taking the value. So that's why you've got the 2 asterisks. So that's destructuring, unpacking. You're basically assigning values from right, or keys and values from the right to your own variables that you create on the left of equals. That's how I remember it anyway. And the 5th tip is, let's look at using enumerate. So enumerate is a way to display the index as well as the value. So we've got names, Alice, Bob, Charlie. And then if we want to get the index and the name, for index, comma, name. So that you may have seen when you're destructuring a Python dictionary, for instance, you might see for key, comma, value in. So here, use enumerate. Other languages might use enum, but in Python it's enumerate. Then name, so you're passing them into the enumerate function. So this is a built-in Python function, enumerate, and it's taking names, which is a list. And here we're just going to print it. So we're going to print with an F string, and we'll pass in the index and the name for each item in that list. And there we go. So and it's indexed from 0. So the first item is index 0. So if you've got 3 items, it'll be 0, 1, 2. Just remember that. If you want to adjust that, then you can just add 1. So here you could do something like index plus 1. And then 1, 2, 3, Bob, Alice, Bob, Charlie. You'd probably not want to do that other than for displaying to the user, because this is internally what is used by Python. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this has just been 5 quick tips just to brush up on if you'd forgotten them or you didn't already know them. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. Helps with the algorithm apparently, and helps get the channel noticed, blah, blah, blah. You know the score. Thanks for watching.